Welcome back to Diva Week, and we are going to be talking about Grace Kelly today. Be right back. Welcome back, Terra Fam. We are going to be talking about Grace Kelly today. So, having a little bit of an issue with StreamYard. It's not allowing me to do all the screen layouts. So, this is going to be it's going to be a little bit smaller. Sorry, guys. I can't do anything about it. I've already sent a message to them, but still get crazy reading anyway. So we're going to be talking about Grace Kelly. Before I bring up the card view, please hit that like button and comment down below. Let me know what you think about Miss Grace Kelly. So here we are. We are going to jump right in and talk about the aura of Grace Kelly, Hollywood starlet. She really was the icon of a movie star. I know Marilyn Monroe was too, but there's just something so divine and feminine and prim and graceful, graceful about Grace Kelly. So we're going to talk first about her soul level reason for her rapid rise in Hollywood. She was stunning. She was beautiful. She was a great actress, and absolutely just the epitome of female. So what was the soul level for her rapid rise? 9 of Wands. The soul purpose just kind of spilled out of her pores. It just really was all over the place. Honestly, this was the purest form of her. I hate to say it. I don't even think she ever raised her voice in real life. I'm just going to say that there. Transformation. I think in the prior incarnation, I do think that there were some issues with her not being enough, not being exciting enough, not being dynamic enough for getting attention. At the end of this particular existence, I don't think that her mission was accomplished. We have that 9 of Swords there. I think there's a lot of concern about not being mission accomplished in this lifetime. And up here, this 2 of Swords, I don't think she went in the right direction. I think there was more that she had to do. I think there was more there. Judgment was on the bottom. I think she was very judgy about herself. How did she view her public image? Was it aligned with her true self? So let's see about that. Five of Cups, 7 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, the Hangman, and that Page of Cups. I do think that the character of Grace Kelly, the person she had to be when she was out and about, working in the industry, I think that was very different from what she actually was in real life. And I think there was conflict between those two personalities, constantly being the agreeable gal. And I do think that there was some reserve in her, that she did hold back on certain things and allowed others to be the management and the director of her life, or I shouldn't say her life, her career. I do think she allowed that to happen. So that's unfortunate. She just looks like I just really felt like she was kind of faking it in a lot of situations. She felt like not her true self. So that's kind of surprising. What made her magnetic and beloved without scandal or sensationalism? What was that? Page of Wands in reverse, 8 of Swords, again, Ace of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. A lot of reverses here, guys. Weird. 5 of Wands. I think that her soul, her actual true being was so close to the surface. Like I said before, it kind of spilled out. There was this angelic aura around her. Marilyn was sex on legs. Grace Kelly was grace on legs. Unfortunately, I'm using the word grace, but I do think that her angelic spirit was what was captured on film, what was captured in person, and what was the it factor for her. How did Grace balance performance with inner calm and presence? How did she balance those things? If she was, say, an angel on earth, I'm going to say that. How did she balance that? The Hangman, it was penance. This lifetime was penance for something. This past lifetime, she was, I don't think that she was as attractive in the prior incarnation. I think she was almost overlooked in the prior incarnation. And in this one, I think that there was more attention that was put on her. And I think that was a little bit unsettling for her. So without scandal and sensationalization, I think that the scandal for her in this lifetime was really the being human, the having to be a little bit ethereal on earth. Sounds weird, right? Hmm. Sounds weird. Sounds weird. So Grace first won she won an Academy Award for Best Actress in The Country Girl in 1954 at the age of 25. Oh, she was so young. 3 Alfred Hitchcock films that she was in: Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, my favorite, and To Catch a Thief. Hitchcock, little fun fact about her, adored her icy elegance and called her a snow-covered volcano. That is fun. So she said, Mount Fuji's a volcano, isn't it?
Yes.
So she's like Mount Fuji. So let's take a look at her path from starlet to sovereign, the princess path. Now, we all know there are some other actresses that became princesses or duchesses. However, Grace Kelly was not given an option. She was forbidden to continue her what?
Verboten.
Verboten?
Verboten.
It was forbidden.
No, V-E-R.
Verboten.
Verboten.
Sounds German.
It is.
Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. She was forbidden to continue her acting career. It was not possible. So, was Grace spiritually called to become royalty? Royalty, as we all know, accident of birth. Did she think that that was a good plan, or was this a sacrifice for her? Which was it? The Star in reverse. And the Ace of Swords. It is what the cards say here is that she was ready to exit Hollywood. Why? Why? Why did she want to leave Hollywood? Ace of Wands, the Tower, and the Prince of Swords. I think she was running from potential other situations that would have happened there. There is something here about a dark underbelly that she was leaving. Did she jump right into the underbelly with royalty? That remains to be seen. But there is something about the dark underbelly of Hollywood getting away from that. What was her soul's agreement with Prince Rainier of Monaco? What was the soul agreement there? 7 of Cups, Page of Cups. She did like him. They are a matched set, would you say, in the soul sense. And this was her reward for being this angel on earth, for walking amongst us, great unwashed. Justice. This was a reward. Being a princess was a reward. The monetary situation, the security, the safety. Fun fact about Monaco, they can just close those gates and shut the whole city down. It's pretty wild. It is a very, very interesting kingdom. But I do think that there's a very Nine of Pentacles energy here, even though we don't have the Nine of Pentacles, because I don't think she was able, this was a one-way street for her. She wasn't going to be able to head back in another direction. This was not a situation where she could say, oh, well, I'm just going to get divorced if this relationship isn't working out, no matter how unhappy I am, which is unfortunate. The safety and security, really, she did have to give up some autonomy and some independence, as one would expect, jumping into a royal family. That is really kind of the order of business there. So unfortunate. Little sadness there with that King of Cups in reverse. Not what she had expected. I think it was almost an expected easing into a retirement kind of situation. So what is next up? What was her, did she regret giving up acting? Did she regret it? Did she regret that? Six of Cups, yes, that's in reverse. Absolutely. She had more say, even though I said earlier that I do think that agents and managers were her mouthpiece. I think that the luxury of being the artist that would ultimately have the final say on situations, I think that's something that she missed very, very much. That is unfortunate for our girl. So, how did she perceive her duties as the Princess of Monaco? How did she perceive that? What was the evolution of her situation as the Princess of Monaco? So, the distraction of motherhood was quite good for her. I think she enjoyed being a mother, and that distraction was something that was very good. The tedium of being a princess, I think, was very difficult for her. Not creating, not doing. So initially, there was a lot of just kind of puttering about with this Eight of Wands, not really having a direction, but just kind of puttering about. Then she had her children, and then this, unfortunately, the Lovers, it just is not the situation that she thought it was going to be. She found a comfortable spot in the royal family after a time, but I don't think it would have been sustainable. Um, had she not passed away, I think we would have had a different story, and not so happy ending to this. Um, this and I talk about the queens. We have a page of swords up here, but I talk about the queens being the soft power in the tarot court. And I think there was something about being the soft power that was not very comfortable for her. I don't think she liked being the soft power. She didn't want to whisper. She wanted to speak up and in an intelligent fashion and join in the conversation. But I don't think that she was allowed to do that. It's almost like she had to scribble down things on a piece of paper and then hand it to someone who, some courtier, took it somewhere and had a conversation about it, and then they would come back and go, no, 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 we're not doing that. It was a very stagnant kind of place for her to be. And I do think, had she been, she may have been more disruptive at another time and place. Um, oh, poor Grace Kelly. That is unfortunate. That's sad. I did not realize that. Did not examine her psychically. So I do think it was a burden. It was a burden. She did get married in 1956. I didn't know that that was, I didn't know it was 1956. I don't know why I felt it was a little bit longer. Her career was a bit longer, but their wedding was watched by over 30 million people. So unbelievable, unbelievable. 30 million people in 1956. Where do you even find those 30 million people? So let's talk about her legacy from this timeless grace, which we are going to talk about her quiet power, again, soft power and posthumous influence on Hollywood today. So, how does Grace's energy influence the actors of today? And we'll see if any particular actor jumps into my head. So, how does she influence Hollywood today? Ace of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Oh, we got two cards here, so we're going to use them. Queen of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. King of Swords and Seven of Wands. I don't think that her energy is influencing the stardom of today. I think she is, and pardon me for saying this because I don't believe this, but according to the cards, it looks as if she is overlooked. It looks as if she was a docile, quiet woman who kept her place and just behaved as one should in 1954. Sh- you are gonna get my channel. You're gonna get my channel in trouble. Stop it. Stop talking about smack in the mouth. So it's really unfortunate. I don't think that her energy resonates with the actors of today. There's too much of a Handmaid's Tale kind of feel. Will it in the future? Yes, in the future. There we go. We will have some transformative culture in Hollywood that will welcome in more of this ultra divine feminine energy. When we talk about divine feminine energy, we're not talking about using your feminine wiles, like with your back to the couch. We talked about that the other day. It's not about, using the parts that we have. It's about using that nurturing soft power that we have as women, being able to weave in our desires and goals into the master plan. That's really what being an ultra female, I'm gonna say ultra female, because she was ultra feminine, but that sometimes can be seen as being weaker. And I think with Grace Kelly, I think we'll see a resurgence of that. And I think she'll reclaim that role as an icon. I'm not saying that she's not an icon, but I'm saying that I don't think a lot of actors now look up to her because she went and got married. She went and, toddled off and married a prince, looked beautiful at the wedding, and then rolled off a mountain. I think that's kind of what they look at. But I do think that there was something absolutely ethereal and magic about her. Don't you? So I have one last question. What does Grace Kelly represent in today's collective spiritual energy? So I did talk about her being somewhat angelic. So this isn't just for Hollywood. What does she represent in today's collective spiritual energy? How does she, the spirit that was Grace Kelly, affect each and every one of us? So let's see what we got here. Five of Swords, Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles. This is beautiful. Great message here. In order to fight, one does not have to be angry. One can fight with love and move things into a better direction through love and through complete abandon, letting the love flow, let your love flow. It really letting that good emotional, creative spirit ride through, and it will bust down all walls. Sounds hokey, I know, and I'm not usually this hokey, but it will bust down all walls. So I think that's a pretty cool reading for today. And I have a little surprise for you guys. There was a diva that I didn't list at the beginning of the week, and I just added her. We are going to do a bonus reading for you guys, and it's going to be Tina Turner because I love Anna Mae Bullock. She's another Anna. As a singer, I love the way she sings. I think she was an amazing person and highly spiritual toward the end of her life. So I shouldn't say toward the end of it, midlife and beyond. So highly spiritual. So join me a little bit later today, and you're going to get a second video for Wednesday, and we're going to talk about Tina Turner. So thanks so much for watching this one. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out and comment down below. Let me know what you think about Grace Kelly, and gear up because Big Wheel keeps on turning. We're going to be talking about Tina Turner. I'll see you in a bit.